Welcome back at 8:13. In the wake of the mass shooting in Uvalde, public figures from all across the country have been reacting.
And one of the strongest reactions we've seen so far has come from Golden State Warriors head coach Steve Kerr in the NBA. He had some moving words in response.
And in the last 10 days, we've had elderly black people killed in a supermarket in Buffalo. We've had Asian churchgoers killed in Southern California, and now we have children murdered at school. When are we going to do something? I'm tired. I'm so tired of getting up here and offering condolences to the devastated families that are out there. I'm so tired of I'm tired of the moments of silence. Enough.
Steve Kerr has had his life touched by gun violence as his father was shot and killed in Beirut, Lebanon in 1984. Well, it is 8:14. Of course, what we are seeing, and like we see after a lot of school shootings and mass shootings, is that the conversation almost immediately turns towards what can be done on the legislative level.
Well, this as Democrats slammed Congress for its inability to take action on guns. And joining us right now here, Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal. Thank you so much for being with us from Washington, D.C. We do appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course, Senator, first right off the top, we're seeing that this is happening again and again. Initially, what's the emotion going through your mind?
You know, last night and all of yesterday afternoon, I was reliving going back to Sandy Hook and envisioning those parents going home to their places where their children just the night before had beds. Those beds were empty. There are seats at the table that won't be filled again, hugs they'll never feel. And I think right now there is a human factor that all of us who lived through Sandy Hook, those first traumatic days, remember all so vividly. But I remember the mom, the evening of Sandy Hook, who was at St. Rose of Lima Church, and I said to her, when you're ready, let's talk about what we can do to stop gun violence. And she looked at me through tears and said, I'm ready now. And that courage and strength was so strongly demonstrated by the Sandy Hook families. It has been since. I value them as friends. They are staunch advocates. And the Parkland relatives, the others who have been through this experience now can hopefully bring that pressure to bear on Washington, along with all of us who are advocates in the Senate, and make some progress on background checks, on red flag statutes, on ghost guns, on safe storage, Ethan's Law, domestic violence, Lori Jackson statute. All of these measures are on the Senate floor ready to go.
Now, one of those bills is House Resolution 8 that I think you want to see things done on, which would require background checks for private party sales, to have a licensed gun dealer come in and be a middleman to create that background check. And of course, a lot of the pushback that people have for different laws that are proposed is kind of like the Nirvana fallacy. They keep saying this alone wouldn't have stopped this from happening. What do you say when people give you that sort of rebuttal?
Every one of these measures can save lives. That's a simple, irrefutable truth. One of these measures might not have saved lives in a specific incident, but that is a false and misleading way to view the solution here. There is no one single solution that will stop all of these mass shootings or the daily shootings that occur in the streets of Hartford or New Haven, as you know, one by one, but they are at an all-time high. We know that background checks and red flag statutes that separate people from guns when they say they're going to kill people or kill themselves will help save lives. They have done so in the close to 20 states where they've been implemented. We know that ghost guns are an emerging threat, maybe the emerging threat in some of those crime and drug-related killings in downtown Hartford. We know that safe storage can save the lives of children in homes where they're playing, as maybe it would have saved Ethan's life in Guilford. And Ethan's song might well be alive today with that kind of measure in place. These kinds of measures help save lives, even if you can point to an incident where another specific measure might not have had an effect. That's a false way to view it.
Now, later this week, actually on Friday, the NRA is having a conference. A lot of GOP leaders are scheduled to be there. Senator Ted Cruz, Governor Abbott from Texas. First off, do you think that maybe this should be postponed? And secondly, do you think what's happened there in Texas will change anyone's minds or anyone's views that are expected to be there?
90% of the American people want sensible, common sense gun violence prevention reform. Again, another stark truth. The NRA blames these shootings on mental health issues. We don't have more mental health issues than other countries, but we have many more times the number of shootings. If the NRA had any respect for human life, it would postpone this conference. I have no expectations that they will postpone it, because they are a vehicle, a tool of the gun manufacturers. The gun lobby still holds many in Congress in their thrall, in their grip, having backed them financially and emboldened and encouraged them to stop gun violence reform. So we need to break the grip of the gun lobby. But here's the good news. In places like Connecticut, where we have measures implemented after Sandy Hook, and in the meantime, since some of the other shootings, other states have done so, gun laws have proved to work. They save lives. The problem is that states like Connecticut with the strongest laws are at the mercy of many with the weakest, because guns have no respect for state boundaries and they flow into Connecticut. So the grassroots movement that has been nurtured and spurred over the years, and groups like Everytown and Sandy Hook Promise and Newtown Action Alliance have helped in this effort. That growing movement will have an effect, and gun violence prevention will be on the ballot this November and in elections to come afterwards.
All right, Senator Blumenthal, thank you for your time. We do appreciate it.